Okay, today's video is one of my favorites to film. It's all about underrated makeup products that do not get the love they deserve. These products are so good. They truly deserve to go viral. The quality is amazing. They apply beautifully. They wear so well throughout the day. And most of these are actually drugstore products, so really, really affordable. But for one reason or another, they haven't taken off in the same way that a lot of other viral products have. So I wanted to share them with you in today's video and put them on your radar if you haven't heard of them or you haven't tried them. I mean, they're not that obscure. I'm sure you've heard of most of these products. You probably even own some of them. But again, I just feel like the hype level is not there. Like they are so good. These deserve to take off too. The first thing I want to share with you is a lip gloss formula that I love. These are $5 lip glosses that feel like they could be like $30 lip glosses, but they're really, really affordable. They're from Catrice. They're called the Lip Jam Hydrating Lip Glosses. So they have a couple of different options. They all end up looking pretty similar on the lips, but they're scented differently. So depending on what you typically go for, I would just pick one based on the scent that appeals to you the most. They look really beautiful, very glossy, super shiny. They're not sticky at all, just really nourishing. They have a lot of very hydrating ingredients like shea butter. I think they have like coconut oil. I just double checked. They have mango seed butter. All of those combined really just create a very nourishing, super glossy, not sticky formula. I'm wearing one today. I'm wearing the peach one on top of a lipstick, and it just creates like the most beautiful shine. It feels very nourishing. Like it definitely has a very soft, moisturizing feel to it, but it also looks really glossy. I was wearing these a lot in the summer on top of a lip stain from Essence, and it was perfect because I just was able to create like my own glossy lip stain by using the lip stain and then topping it with this. Whenever I have any sort of drying lip product, whether it is a lip stain or a lipstick or a lip liner, if I just apply a little bit of this, it just completely transforms the feel of the product underneath. Sometimes when you're wearing a pigmented lip color and then you apply a lip oil or a lip gloss on top, it just like breaks the product apart and it ends up moving and spreading really, really quickly. That doesn't happen with these. Like these are so good to pair with any other lip product or on their own too. So I love them. I think they're super cute. They smell good. The packaging is nice. The formula is amazing. Definitely worth trying. I don't know why, but for some reason I've really avoided like squeeze tube type of lip products over the last few years. I don't know if I thought like the formulas weren't going to be great or I just associated them with like cheaper lip products. And I mean, these are very, very inexpensive, but the formulas do not feel cheap. So this one from e.l.f. also comes in similar packaging. This is the Squeeze Me Lip Balm. I wouldn't say there are a ton of e.l.f. products that are underrated because pretty much everything e.l.f. launches ends up becoming a viral hit. Like they are the it brand right now. But there are a couple of products that I feel like don't get the love they deserve. And when these first launched, I think people were talking about them because I think some people said they could potentially be a dupe for some sort of high-end product that I cannot think of. I want to say it was Laneige, but I'm not sure. I don't know because I haven't tried that product or anything from that brand. These on their own are just like a good standalone lip balm. So they have a little bit more color to them compared to the Catrice glosses. And the Catrice glosses definitely have like more of a glossy feel, whereas these have more of a shiny, balmy feel. So they're definitely very moisturizing, really soft and comfortable on the lips, and they smell really good. They're very strongly scented too. So are the Catrice ones. So if you don't like really strongly scented lip products, you probably won't love either one of these, but they all smell really fruity. So I have strawberry and I have grape. So these have really good ingredients too. Hyaluronic acid, shea butter, goji berry. They just feel very soft, very smooth. They're like the perfect thickness. Not too thin, not too thick, like right in the middle. So they're really, really nourishing. They are really tiny, but I almost feel like it comes in handy. Like I'll just throw one in my little wallet that's attached to my keys and keep it in there so I have it whenever I need to use it. And again, you can wear these over lipstick, over lip liner, over a lip stain, but I tend to wear these on their own just because they do have like a slight hint of color, the grape one more than strawberry, but they're really nice, nourishing everyday lip balms. I would actually say these are a good alternative to the Summer Fridays lip balms. Not an exact dupe, but somewhat similar. Like if you like the feel of the Summer Fridays lip balms, you'll like the feel of these on the lips, but these are a lot less expensive. Like I think they're like $4. Actually, I do have one more product from e.l.f. Now, this is a little bit of a newer launch, so I don't know that it's really had the time to take off. But again, like out of all of their new launches, this is the one that I hear about the least, and it is their new Instant Lift Waterproof Brow Pencil. I think part of the reason is because they did already have a brow pencil that looks identical to this. It's just not a waterproof version. I tried that one and it's fine, but this one is so much better. Like the actual formula is different. This one stays in place really well. It does have good pigment to it. It kind of, I've said this in a previous video, but it almost has a little bit of like a pomade feel to it, like pomade in a pencil. You know how some brands do those? That's what this reminds me of, but a little bit softer. So when you're combing it through your brows, it like grabs onto your brows and holds them into place well. So it's a nice option if you want to use a brow pencil and you don't want to use a brow gel along with it, and you want like a little bit of hold, because you can comb this through, or you can apply this and then use the spoolie and comb it through. And I feel like it gives your brows a little bit of definition. So I've been enjoying this a lot. Normally I don't wear brow pencil every single day, but I've actually been using this one a good amount because it looks really natural, but it gives me a good amount of pigment too. Let's talk about a few foundations. These are very, very opposite formulas. Let's start with the one that I'm actually wearing today. It is the CoverGirl True Blend Matte Made Foundation. This is not a newer launch, but I just tried it for the first time in 2023, and I really like this one. So the shade I have is Classic Ivory. It's a little bit dark for me, so usually I mix in like a touch of a white foundation mix in pigment to lighten it up. This is a very silky, very smooth matte foundation. Usually matte foundations feel kind of dry on my skin these days. Like I don't always love a completely matte finish, but this formula is very comfortable on the skin. Like as you're applying it to the skin, it doesn't really feel like it's going to have a matte finish, but once it dries down, you definitely get a true matte finish. It stays in place well. Like it definitely lasts all day on my skin, and it evens out my skin tone. It has pretty good coverage, but you can also sheer it out to look a little bit more natural. I just really like it. Oh, it says right on here, comfort matte transfer resistant. So I actually think this one does live up to those claims. Like some brands claim to be transfer resistant and they're not, but honestly, when I apply this product, by the end of the day, like it is still in place. I don't know, like if I took a white t-shirt and like pressed my face on it, it might end up transferring a little bit, but I do think this one is longer lasting than a lot of other foundations I've tried recently. So I'm definitely impressed by it. If you want a long wearing matte foundation that doesn't look or feel heavy or dry or cakey, this is the one to try. Like it's a very, very comfortable, very nice formula. The other foundation is a $5 foundation that I tried back in the summertime and I love it. It's from the brand Relove by Revolution. It's their Super Serum Hyaluronic Acid Foundation. I have the shade F6, which did work for me in the summer, although I think in the summer it might have even been just a little bit too dark. This is one of the most beautiful foundations I've ever tried. Like I would say skip the Makeup by Mario foundation, the glowy one, and go for this because you do get a very glowy finish, but it actually lasts on the skin and it doesn't look glittery at all. Like it just gives your skin that healthy, natural glow. I do tend to get like, I want to say like medium coverage out of this, light to medium coverage, but you can sheer it out if you want like a true light coverage look. You can't really build it up to look too heavy or full coverage on the skin, but I don't think that's what it's meant to look like because it is like a true serum looking foundation. Again, very, very lightweight. It doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't look heavy. It is such a beautiful formula and it's $5. So I definitely recommend trying this if you haven't already. There are a couple of products from the brand that I've tried that I really enjoy. I think overall they're pretty underrated, but if you do shop for your makeup at Walmart, my Walmart at least has a pretty good display of their products, and I think most of their products are more so like right around the $3 price point. So if you're looking for an affordable makeup brand, I do recommend checking them out. Actually, another brand that used to be sold at Walmart exclusively that just came to Ulta is AF94, which is actually another one of Halsey's makeup brands. So she has About Face and then she has AF94. AF94 is like the more affordable line that she does, although About Face isn't really like an overly expensive line either. Anyway, I saw they came to Ulta, and I have to say my favorite product from them is the Playdate Multi-Use Cheek and Lip Color. So I have the shade If You Dare. The reason why I like this cream blush is because it's a very lightweight formula. A lot of cream blushes can end up looking a little bit thick or cakey or heavy on my skin, and that never happens with this one. Like this one is so silky, so undetectable in the way that it feels, but it does show up on your skin like the actual color. So I have this beautiful plum berry. I won't say it's quite as intense as a few other brands. Like Makeup by Mario's blushes definitely have more pigment. Persona's blushes probably have a little bit more pigment. This is the most pigmented color that I think they make. Well, I mean, that does look pretty bright, but I feel like on the cheeks it ends up looking a little bit more sheer, and I did apply quite a bit to my hand. But I feel like you can even tell. Like you can tell that it's sheer. It's very lightweight. So it doesn't feel like you're adding like a ton of texture to the skin. It just gives you a very pretty natural flush. And I think this formula is a great option. And I believe this is maybe like right around $7 or $8. So again, really affordable. Actually, I do have a product from About Face that I wanted to share, which again is Halsey's other makeup brand. This is the Matte Fix Lip Pencil. I know some people enjoy these. Like I've heard people talk about these, but not as much as they deserve. Like this is one of the best lip pencil formulas I've ever tried. It is definitely the creamiest. Like it just glides on the skin or specifically on the lips like silk. It is so creamy, incredibly smooth. In fact, you have to kind of be careful because if you press too hard, you'll actually break the pencil because it is so soft and creamy. Sometimes when a pencil is this creamy, there's not like great pigment because it's almost a little bit waxy. This is just so smooth, so rich and intense. If you are mainly looking for something that feels good, that has really good pigmentation, that glides on super easily, this is the formula to try. So these have had like, I don't know, a minute or two to dry down. And as you can see, like they're not going anywhere. I definitely don't think they wear off super quickly. Like I wore one the other day, I got ready in the morning, and then like later that day I went out to lunch with my mom and my sister, and then we went shopping. I got home. It was probably like 7 or 8 hours, and I still had lip liner on. Like you could still see the color. It was a little bit faded, but for the most part, it was there. So I feel like for like a typical day, they're long wearing enough. And the fact that they are so creamy and so comfortable is more of a benefit to me than having something that lasts like 12 hours that looks and feels really dry. So I love them. They have a ton of shades. I want to say almost like 30 different shades to choose from, and just a really beautiful range. I definitely recommend checking them out if you haven't already. They're right around $16, but About Face is a brand that does go on sale on occasion. So I've been able to get them for like, I want to say half off during like Ulta's 21 Days of Beauty. If you are looking for a long wearing eyeliner, I definitely recommend this formula from Persona. These are the 24-hour waterproof eye pencils. These are so good. I'm wearing one today. I have the brown one on like my upper lash line. I used an eyeliner brush to create a wing, and then I went over it with eyeshadow. So the reason why I went over with eyeshadow was to kind of soften it up a little bit, but the eyeliner itself is perfect as a base because it does not move. Like whether you're using it on your upper lash line, your waterline to tight line, I also use the dark brown to tight line today too, it is going to stay in place so well. You know, in the past when I would try like a very creamy lip liner or a very creamy eyeliner, without a doubt, like I just knew it wasn't going to last because it was so creamy. Things have really changed because now brands like Persona create very rich, very creamy, intense formulas that actually dry down and don't move. The only con for me is that they only come in 4 shades, and the brown and the brown and the plum look pretty dark. So I wouldn't say there's like a ton of variation between the shades. So I wish they would come out with additional ones because the formula really is like top tier. It is amazing. And I definitely recommend checking them out if you're looking for like a true long wearing liner that stays put. I don't know why, but these Too Faced lipsticks do not get the love they deserve. Too Faced has actually always made some of my favorite lipsticks. They used to have the Natural Nudes line a few years ago, probably even longer than that. And I loved that line so much. Actually, when they discontinued it, I like searched all over the internet and I bought backups, which I don't normally do, but that was my favorite lipstick formula. I still have one of them open. Anyway, they came out with these, I don't know, was it like 2 years ago? Maybe not even that long ago. And it is a really good replacement for that line because it's actually better. These are probably the best high-end lipsticks I've ever tried. They are so creamy, so rich and nourishing, incredibly comfortable. They feel really good on the lips. and they last really well too. So they have two different lines. They have the Lady Bold line, which does have a mix of like nudes and pinks and reds. And then they came out with the Cocoa Bold line. I think this came out the same time they did like some sort of chocolate collection. I can't remember which one because they have had quite a few. And this one just has like 6 nudes, like lighter nudes, darker nudes. So they really, I mean, they're the same formula in my opinion, except the Cocoa Bold ones smell like chocolate. And then the Lady Bold ones have more like a heart-shaped applicator, but the actual formula is the same. They're just so rich, so pigmented, really, really comfortable, and pretty long wearing for like a traditional lipstick. I've been wearing these nonstop because they are so comfortable. And like when I reach for another formula, it never ends up feeling as comfortable on the lips. Like this is the best. And the fact that you get such good pigmentation while still having like that long wearing formula is perfect. So if you do like regular traditional lipsticks, I highly recommend checking these out. They obviously are a little bit more expensive because they're high end, but they are worth it. The last product that I wanted to share with you is something that I've been using for a while, but I don't know if I've really talked about it on my channel very much. It's not something I'm using right now during the winter, but I loved it during the summertime. It's the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Pressed Powder. So I actually picked this up because I was going to do a video on your hidden gems at the drugstore, and I bought a few products for that video and then I didn't film it. So I actually need to like revisit that video idea because I think it would be a lot of fun. Anyway, the reason why I haven't purchased a CoverGirl powder in a long time is because they have like 85 different powders. Every time I go to the drugstore and I check out the CoverGirl section, all I see is like mascaras and powders, and they have an entire wall of them. So I don't know what the differences are, which ones are good, which ones are bad, but I do really like this one. If you have oily skin or you want a super matte finish, this is the one to try. It's almost a little bit too mattifying for me for like the majority of the year, but during the summer when it was really hot, very humid outside, I would reach for this one and it left my skin looking matte for hours. So I highly recommend that if that's, or I highly recommend this if that's the type of powder you're after. If you want like a natural powder, something like with a soft finish, this is not the one to try. Although it does have a very smooth finish, but it is incredibly mattifying, like almost leaning dry. But I know there are people who like that, myself included, especially during the summertime. So definitely a hidden gem, although I feel like it has pretty good reviews online. It's just not something that I've heard very much about, and it's probably because they have so many different choices, but I do recommend this one. So those are the products I wanted to share with you in today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you like these videos, I'll link a couple of additional options on the screen in case you want to hear about some more of my underrated hidden gem favorites. And if you have any that you think I should check out, let me know in the comments below. I want to film a video testing your hidden gems, so I'll probably ask on like my community tab or over on Instagram. But if you're still watching by the end of this video and you have any recommendations, please let me know in the comments below. Okay, I'll see you very soon with a new one. Bye.